Hey, it's Tony talking car biz. In this video, I want to talk about the concept of a switch in the dealership. So really talking to the sales consultants in the audience. So what is a switch? A switch is when you have a customer looking at a particular vehicle, and for one reason or another, you need to talk to them about an alternative vehicle. Maybe the one they were originally interested in didn't fit their needs, didn't have the equipment they were looking for. Maybe the price was out of their range. Maybe the payment was out of their range. Traditionally in our business, we offer a switch, or we use the switch technique as a last ditch effort. That can happen while working a deal. Maybe we've test driven a car with a customer, we've sat down, we're working numbers, trying to put a deal together, but for whatever reason, we're not able to. It's the wrong car. And so we're encouraged by our sales manager to offer them an alternative vehicle, a switch. And at this point, what I found is the customers are exhausted. They're maybe not open to this idea. They're not buying what you're selling. They're not interested in it. And they also sense that the reason that you're offering them this alternative vehicle is to just sell them a car, that you're doing it just because you want to sell them something. So what I want to suggest you do is still use the switch technique, but I'm asking that you flip this script. Change it up. What do I mean by flip the script? Do the exact opposite of what you're doing today. Okay? So instead of offering it as a last ditch effort, like on a phone up, they call in and ask for a car and it's not there, and you tell them no, and they say, okay, thanks, and then you try to tell them about other cars. You've still lost them. When working a deal, you try to switch them and they're like, well, we want to go home and think about it. So instead of offering it as a last ditch on that phone up or on the sale showroom floor, offer the switch up front. And so I'll give you an example of how you might do that on a phone up, for example. So let's say, for example, you get a phone up and the customer's on autotrader.com and they saw your 2019 Toyota Camry. And so they call the dealership and they ask, is it still there? By the way, that's the availability question, and it's asked the most frequently asked question on a phone up, particularly on used cars. And so they're calling to find out if the car's still there. Now, when they ask that question, there's two answers you can give them. The answer could be yes, the answer could be no. I want to make the point that answering yes or no out of the gate puts you at a disadvantage in helping that customer. So let's say a customer calls up to see if it's still there. Do you still have that 2019 Toyota Camry I saw on autotrader.com? You might know it's there. In fact, maybe you parked it an hour ago. You walked past it before. You worked a deal on it this morning. You might know that it's still out on the lot. I wanted to encourage you to not answer the question right away. You also might know that it's not there. For example, you might have sold it this morning, or somebody else sold it, or it was sold a couple days ago and it's still on the website. And so you're tempted to say, no, it's not here, or you're tempted to say, yes, it is here. In either case, I think you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by just answering the question off the cuff. Okay? Let's say you know it's there and you say, yes, it is here. Well, what you've just started to do is you've given the customer the control, right? They ask you a question, you answered it. They ask you another question, you answer it. Well, you want to be in control of the conversation. And typically the person asking the questions is the person that's in control of the conversation. So same thing with the no. If the car's not there, don't tell them no right away. You will tell them no. But if you tell them no right away, you've lost them. They've checked out, and it might make it difficult for you to offer other vehicles. You might have 4 or 5 others just like it, but you never get a chance to say that because you told them no, the one they wanted is gone, and they check out and hang up on you. So what I want to encourage you to do is, whether the answer is yes or whether the answer is no, I want you to put them on hold. Call a timeout. Okay? In the case of a phone up, call a timeout. Now, this is not a terminal hold. This is not 30 seconds while you run out to the lot and look what's out on the lot. This is 10 seconds. You should have your inventory in front of you. You should probably be at a computer with your inventory, or have your inventory sheet prepared to answer their questions. So what are you going to do when you put them on this 10-second hold? You're going to search your inventory to see if that car is still in stock. or maybe it's not in stock. In either case, put them on hold. I'm going to check and see if it's still available. Do you mind if I put you on hold? Great, I'll be right back. Put them on hold, see if the car is there. While you're looking for that car, look for all of the Camrys, all of the used Camrys, and bring them up on one search result. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to come back from hold and you're going to take back control of the conversation. And you do that by asking a question. So you come back and say, I'm back, are you there? They say yes. By the way, I'm Tony and you are Bob. Nice talking to you, Bob. Now this is where you flip the script. Bob, it looks like we have 6 or 8 Camrys in stock, including the one you called in on. So that's your yes answer. Bob, it looks like we have 6 to 8 in stock. Unfortunately, the one you called on is no longer here. So what I'm doing is I'm flipping this script. I'm telling them about the selection before I answer their question in both scenarios. Now, even if I tell them it is here, does that mean it's the car that they're going to buy? Yes or no? We don't know because it may not meet all their criteria. So by offering these alternatives up front, when they ask us a question that the answer is no, then we can automatically roll to the alternatives. So let me play that with you. It looks like we have 6 to 8 in stock, including the one you called in on. When would you like to drive it? Well, before I come and drive it, can you tell me if it has a sunroof? No, it doesn't. Is that okay? Well, I really wanted one with a sunroof. What about the other 6 that you have? Do any of those have sunroofs? So can you hear that playing out? Because you told them you had more to choose from, the one they called in on is not everything they expected it or hoped it to be. Oftentimes they'll ask you about the others. Or even if they don't, you can say the same thing. No, it doesn't have a sunroof. Is that okay? No, I really wanted one with a sunroof. Well, that's all right. I've got 6 or 8 others. Let me look at those and see if any of those have sunroofs. See how that works? From the yes perspective, looks like we have 6 to 8 in stock, including the one you called in on. When would you like to drive it? Can you tell me that it has a sunroof? No, it doesn't. Is that okay? No, I really wanted a sunroof. But what about the other ones? Do you have any others with sunroofs? Boom. The no scenario looks like we have 6 to 8 in stock, including, unfortunately, the one you call on is no longer here. What did you like about that one? Well, I was looking for one with a sunroof. Oh, okay, great. Let me see if these other ones have a sunroof, right? Remember, if the one they called on is gone, they are going to switch themselves. Hopefully, you're going to help them choose from your inventory. Hopefully, you don't hang up the phone and they continue down AutoTrader to your competitor's store. So flip the script. Offer alternatives up front, assuming the one they called on is not going to be the car they're going to take delivery of. I'd rather assume that and be able to talk about alternatives than tell them no and click. So try that technique. I hope you find it helpful. This is Tony, Talking Car Biz. Thanks for watching.